The savanna flips the switch on power, and the lion puts its entire youth on the line to learn how to survive. One lunge locks onto the target. One decisive move shuts down the chase. The roar is not for show. It is a verdict for anything that crosses the boundary. One mistimed step, and the game ignites into a fight for the right to remain. And today, who holds on to the end, and who is erased from the contest? The lion is the only big cat that lives in groups, with a social structure rarely seen among top hunters. A fully grown male can weigh over 400 pounds, and his thick mane reflects health and status within the pride. Females hold the core hunting role, coordinating with precision to use speed, terrain, and timing. At the top of the food chain, the lion is both a dominant force and a balancing one, driven through an unending series of trials to hold the title of the King of the Savannah. Along African rivers, crocodiles exist like ancient traps, motionless, patient, yet always alert. A full-grown individual can weigh over 1,000 pounds, with a bite force of around 3,700 pounds per square inch, enough to turn the water's edge into a narrow line between safety and danger. The dry season pushes temperatures close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, making water both a lifeline and a threat. Scarce water holes force every species to approach, including lion cubs weighing under 10 pounds, with almost no ability to defend themselves. Moving with the pride toward the riverbank, they seek survival, unaware that beneath the surface lies nature's coldest test. One mistimed moment, the murky water churns, and the formation stretches apart. Adult lions rush in to respond, but they are not always able to protect what matters most. In another instant, a cub slips past several close encounters through raw, unrefined reflexes. But in the next moment, the margin of safety disappears. From the riverbank, the adults can only watch, powerless to intervene. The lesson needs no words. Only vigilance and unity allow the pride to move forward. After that loss, the lions draw closer together, learning to grow up in a wild world that offers no mercy. Across the savanna and the edge of open woodland, the leopard appears like a silent ghost. Far lighter than a lion, yet its compact, athletic build lets it climb high and hide on branches more than 20 feet above the ground. Between these two species lies a long-standing rivalry. Lions control the ground through numbers and collective pressure, while the leopard survives through solitude, patience, and precise calculation. Overlapping territory makes contact hard to avoid, but most of the time, the leopard chooses to stay out of the way. When lions close in with a numerical advantage, retreat becomes the safest option. In the wild, stepping back is not failure. It is a way to remain present over the long term in a harsh competitive world. At another moment, that fragile order is broken. A lioness briefly takes her eyes off the most restless young one in the pride. Curiosity draws the cub beyond its familiar safety zone, deeper into dense brush, where visibility is limited and every movement is harder to track. Above, the leopard is already there, watching in silence. Everything happens so fast it leaves almost no clear trace. When the lioness calls out, the scene has changed. Only the faintest motion in the canopy remains, and then the quiet seals shut. There is no emotion in it, only nature's survival logic. For the leopard, reducing risk is how it protects its position in an unforgiving contest. It is a lesson in vigilance that must extend not only around, but also into the silent space overhead. The greatest threat to a lion does not come from outside claws, but from a shift of power within the pride itself. When a new coalition of male lions takes control, the old order disappears immediately. This change is not simply a replacement of individuals, but a complete reshaping of the pride's future, from reproductive timing to the survival prospects of the next generation. By biological rules, new rulers often seek to erase the legacy of the previous generation. An adult male lion holds strength far beyond what lionesses can resist. The focus of this process falls on cubs under 1 year old, driven not by emotion, but by reproductive strategy. When cubs are lost, lionesses stop producing milk and can return to breeding readiness within a few weeks, rather than waiting nearly 2 years to complete a full nursing cycle. Facing this risk, lionesses weighing around 280 pounds still attempt to shield their young and move them away from danger zones. But in the world of big cats, differences in size and power often determine outcomes. Cubs weighing only about 30 pounds have almost no ability to protect themselves under overwhelming pressure. In harsher periods, when food resources decline across dozens of miles, lionesses are forced to prioritize energy for survival, even when the choice is deeply difficult. This decision allows them to endure the dry season and preserve future reproductive potential. It is nature's balancing mechanism, where the continuation of the species always comes first. After these upheavals, the cubs that remain begin their true journey, learning to hunt and to claim their place on the savanna. Biological data shows that only about 20% of lion cubs survive long enough to reach adolescence, roughly 2 years of age. That means within each litter, only one individual is likely to gain real opportunities to learn how to hunt. This harsh survival rate forces those that remain to adapt early, changing how they observe, react, and learn to control the space around them. At this stage, survival lessons enter a more demanding phase. The muscles of adolescent lions develop rapidly, but the calm judgment and situational control of a mature hunter still lag behind. The first test comes from a young warthog moving about 50 feet away. Impatience causes a young male to reveal his position too early. With remarkable speed, the target slips into dense cover, leaving behind the familiar frustration of youth. Soon after, attention shifts to an impala. This time, the distance is too great, and the approach cannot turn into effective action. Repeated setbacks slowly accumulate into experience, pushing the group to adjust tactics and learn restraint. When the focus turns to a bless book, the difference begins to show. The pride spreads out to surround the target. At the decisive moment, a young female bursts forward at speeds approaching 50 miles per hour. This time, coordination is precise enough to bring the situation under control quickly. To truly claim territory, adolescent lions must merge into the structure of the pride, where individual strength gives way to collective strategy and exact timing. Every dominant force exists under constant pressure, where authority is continuously tested, and lions are no exception. Among their most persistent rivals, hyenas and wild dogs stand out as clear symbols of opposition. They rarely engage in direct confrontation, instead relying on overwhelming numbers and relentless endurance. Around a carcass or a critical food source, they repeatedly probe the limits of the dominant force through prolonged encirclement and echoing calls, slowly wearing down vigilance over time. In response, male lions rely on strength and commanding presence. A fully grown individual weighing around 420 pounds can hold ground against an entire group of hyenas without pursuit, simply by asserting boundaries. This calm, yet imposing confidence defines the presence of a seasoned ruler, often enough to make others hesitate and fall back. Yet the most serious threat does not come only from other species. The fiercest competition unfolds between rival coalitions of male lions themselves, where control over territories spanning dozens of square miles is at stake. A roar carrying up to 5 miles serves both as a warning and as a declaration of ownership to any potential challenger. Most confrontations end when one side chooses to withdraw. Only in rare cases does the balance shift completely. On the savanna, being king is not a single victory, but the ability to remain standing through an endless series of trials. The hippo charges straight to the boundary, opening its jaws wide like a gate that seals off every escape route. Its massive body and overwhelming bite force are enough to make any intruder hesitate in an instant. Every step beyond the line is met with a cold, uncompromising response. In those murky waters, there is no prey and no rival, only the iron law of territory. Why does a plant-eating animal become the greatest source of caution in Africa's rivers and wetlands? In Africa's rivers, the Nile crocodile is an ancient hunter driven by near absolute patience. Stretching close to 20 feet and weighing over 1,600 pounds, its armor-like skin allows it to blend into murky water. Its strength does not come from speed, but from concealment, timing, and the ability to lock onto a target in a single motion. That advantage is most effective when the target is isolated or inexperienced. A young hippo, lighter in weight and lacking experience, may drift out of the herd's protective formation. Everything unfolds in seconds. The surface ripples, the gap closes, and the chance to escape quickly fades. The balance shifts completely when a crocodile enters the territory of adult hippos. Massive bodies, nearly 3 times heavier, rise together and claim space through sheer weight and calm resolve. Without ambush or pursuit, hippos impose order through formations and presence, forcing any intent to halt at the boundary. Most encounters end with the crocodile withdrawing in silence. The river settles, revealing a clear rule. Hippos do not need to hunt, yet their strength and control of space are enough to make every other presence hesitate. At the edge of the savanna, muddy pools may seem like temporary stopovers. But for hippos, they are vital connectors between grassland and river, where cool mud keeps thick skin moist, lowers body heat, and creates a safe refuge under the harsh sun. The hippo rests like a heavy stone, remaining still while quietly sensing every ripple along the bank. At times, a hunter drives a small antelope toward a muddy hollow to cut off its escape. And in that exact moment, the balance shifts. The hippo rises, releases a warning breath, then moves straight into the center of the motion, forcing the pursuit to change direction. Thick mud grips the ground, murky water limits visibility, and safe distance collapses within seconds. the hunter is compelled to reconsider every step because even a short forward surge can disrupt formation. In a place once seen as a trap that closes in on prey, the hippo asserts a boundary that cannot be crossed. No form of strength lasts forever. As water levels recede, the path back to the river grows longer, and young, aging, or weakened hippos gradually fall outside the herd's familiar shield. It is within these gaps that a once stable order begins to shift. Along the water's edge and across open grasslands, lions and hyenas observe with patience. They do not rush toward a fully formed adult holding a tight position. Instead, they wait for long stretches of time for the rare moment when an individual drifts away, slows its movement, or loses defensive rhythm. In the wild, opportunity matters more than raw power. But the story does not end with confrontation. When a weakened individual eventually falls, the ecosystem steps in at once. Vultures from above, hyenas from the grass line, and fish and insects within the water and soil all take part in a quiet, precise process. Nutrients return to the mud, soak into the grass, and with the rains, cycle back to sustain grazing herds. This rhythm serves as a reminder that nature wastes nothing. The decline of one individual can be the very way the riverbank maintains balance and continuity. In the Okavango wetlands, lions represent tightly organized power. An adult male weighing around 500 pounds can reach nearly 50 miles per hour over short distances. But the decisive advantage does not lie in the muscle of any single individual. It lies in pride discipline, precise role assignment, controlled angle cutting, forcing a target into the right position, then waiting for the moment a mistake is made. But when facing a hippopotamus, every calculation slows. This giant, weighing close to 4,000 pounds, is rarely on the list of targets because its wide-opening jaws, long tusks, and an estimated bite force of around 1,800 pounds per square inch are enough to turn water and mud into a territory that is difficult to challenge. And when lions are forced to cross a river, the big cat's speed advantage nearly disappears. Hippos are almost never a priority choice for lions, unless prolonged hunger pushes the entire pride to consider a life or death gamble. They form their positions, maintain distance, and observe patiently, focusing only on a lone young individual or a rare moment of vulnerability. because even a single explosive turn from a hippo can shift the balance instantly, forcing the opponent to retreat at once. Caution allows lions to preserve their chances for future hunts, as one misjudged approach can cost everything. The hippo holds its territory firm, reaffirming a harsh truth: not every kind of strength is meant to be tested. Along Africa's rivers, a hippo's territory is not marked on a map, but held in memory of deep channels and shallow banks. An adult male controls a stretch of water hundreds of yards long, patrolling quietly like drifting steel, calm, yet never inattentive. The moment an unfamiliar presence cuts across the current, the rhythm of the water changes. It may be a group of grazing animals approaching the edge, or a crocodile pressing into restricted space. Territorial instinct switches on instantly. The hippo often moves straight toward the most turbulent point, locking attention on whatever is disturbing the surface. A few short bursts of speed, nearing 30 miles per hour, are enough to turn the muddy bank into a place where no one wants to misstep. Within the ecological cycle, territory gives the herd space to rest, access points in and out of the water, and room to breathe during the dry season. In those murky waters, survival favors not the loudest presence, but the one that maintains order along the river. And that same defensive response can, at times, unintentionally create opportunities for other species to endure. During dry season water shortages, conflict can sometimes come from the largest plant eaters themselves. For elephants, the goal is not pursuit, but securing a wide enough access point for the entire herd and a safe chance to drink. An African savanna elephant can weigh around 13,000 pounds, and the largest individuals can stand nearly 13 feet at the shoulder. Sheer mass alone turns every step into clear pressure along the riverbank. Elephants usually open with dominant signals, moving in close, spreading their ears wide, then striking the mud with their trunks as a warning. Hippos respond by rising near the boundary, releasing warning breaths, and holding tight to the water's entry point. The standoff often ends by a simple rule: whoever controls the edge controls the herd's rhythm. Elephants prevail through formation, endurance, and control of space. Hippos rely on territory and explosive reactions, but under sustained pressure, they often yield. Rhinoceroses can apply similar pressure. An adult white rhino can weigh around 6,000 pounds, with a front horn longer than 35 inches, an unmistakable signal in any confrontation. Rhinos typically advance in a straight line, slow and steady, using their heavy bodies to compress space. Hippos respond by moving forward, displaying wide jaws, revealing tusks close to 20 inches long, and an estimated bite force of about 1,800 pounds per square inch. But the rhino then makes a short acceleration. just enough to push the hippo away from the most dangerous edge zone. At times, tension escalates in the opposite direction. When disturbed too closely, a hippo may charge forward to reclaim space. In that moment, the balance shifts. The rhino lowers its head, using its horn like a moving shield to maintain distance. Along the narrow riverbank, the one forced to step back is often the hippo. On the savanna, there is no permanent throne, only those strong enough to remain standing. A lion's strength comes not only from muscle, but from discipline and the unity of the pride. Every challenge is a reminder that power always carries a cost. If you want to continue following these authentic survival stories, like to show your support and subscribe so you do not miss the next moment from the wild world.